So, I hear you want to learn how to sew? Okay, let me help you. But anywho, I am Chauncey and I am coming at you on YouTube to help you start sewing. So let's get to the video, I guess. That's all you do, right? Obviously you can tell this is my first video. I'm excited. I hope my makeup doesn't look too oily. I really didn't want to put on makeup, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna not look like an ashy person when I first come in. So here you go. So yeah, let's go ahead and start. And I have my iPad here, so if I'm looking down, that's what I'm looking at. So I might be moving a lot, so if you like hear squeaking, it's my chair. Okay, so first thing first, you have to have the right tools to sew. So pretty much what you'll need to get started is a sewing machine, possibly a serger, tape measure, needles, thread, scissors. You will need scissors. Scissors are so important. It's like my babies. I love my scissors. I love my scissors, like they're, anywho, I'm not even gonna go on that whole little, I love my scissors. Okay. Let's go into detail about some of these items that you'll need. Okay, so first things first, you'll need a sewing machine, right? So my sewing machine I got from Walmart. I think it was like $100. Honestly, let me see. Would I suggest someone getting an inexpensive sewing machine? Yes and no. So I got this sewing machine after, like, during my freshman year of college. Couldn't really spend too much money on anything, but I know how to navigate a delicate machine. Okay. If it is, what I'm trying to say is, if it's more inexpensive, you'll probably need to know what needles to use, and even like different techniques with different fabrics. So really what I would suggest if you're just starting is getting like a heavy duty type of machine. But I will give you a more inexpensive machine that's not really like one of the cheap ones, but like mid-level inexpensive. Yeah. And like right before you get to the heavy duty ones. So the three machines that I suggest are the Singer 4423 model, and that's the heavy duty sewing machine. That one I have seen at Walmart for a really good price. Amazon has it for a really good price. I am not sponsored. I'm just helpful. So yeah, I've seen those. I would not suggest getting any machines from like a Hobby Lobby or a Michaels or even a Joann's, because sometimes they really do mark up the prices up there. Walmart, honestly, if you're trying to find something that's really inexpensive, you can get one of those other stores if they're like running a what's it called, if they, because they do coupons a lot, so you could probably finesse it that way. But other than that, I would honestly go to Walmart or get it on Amazon. So another model is the Brother ST371HD sewing machine. That is also a heavy duty type machine. That's their Strong and Tough. So those two machines are pretty comparable to each other. And then the one that's like inexpensive and not like the cheap model, but a really good starter model that you don't have to spend too much money on, that's the Brothers sewing machine GX37. So those are the 3 machines that I would suggest. I've worked with 2 of them, and that's the Brother GX37, so the kind of model, and the Singer Heavy Duty. Honestly, I think all of these are really good machines. They come with a bobbin, they come with different foots. So the foots are what the needle goes through and on your sewing machine. And then they also have like really good support. I am that person that calls tech support still. Hey, sometimes me just reading the manual is not enough, and I do suggest that you read the manual, okay? I know like there's a lot of people out here who'll just hop on a machine if you're used to a machine, because all of them kind of do operate the same, but those manuals tell you like the nitty gritty and will tell you stuff that you probably don't even know that your machine can do, okay? So those are the sewing machines that I would suggest that you buy. If you have any other suggestions for anybody starting and you're like deep into it and you know, or even if you just started and you know of like a starter machine that's not too expensive, help us out. Go in the comments, put it in. I'm not even upset about that, because hey, this is a community. We're here helping each other, because if I give me an inexpensive model, we here. The prices do range between the mid to low hundreds to even up to $215, what I've seen. So maybe like $140 to $215. Those are the prices that I've seen thus far. This is around Christmas time, so it might be some markups. And like I said, if you catch Michael's or Hobby Lobby or even Joann with some coupons, you could probably get a discount. Also Amazon, you know, randomly has some on discount. I know people buy second hands, even borrowing someone's machine. That could be helpful too, because you know, sewing is kind of like a one-on-one thing, but since it's not a lot of people doing it, when you find someone who likes to sew or who wants to have interest, yeah, I'm like, yeah, come and try my machine, come and see how you like it first, because I don't want you to buy all this stuff and be like, ah, I hate it. So yeah, you could even borrow somebody's. So the second machine that I am going to suggest that you buy is a serger. So pretty much a serger is so when you buy fabric, it comes on the yard, and sometimes, you know what? Let me see, I'm going to show you an example. So this I bought by the yard, but if you can see, can you see here? I'm looking at the frame because I'm trying to see if it's like focusing in or whatever. Hey. Okay. So right here it frays, and so what happens is the more you wear it and the more you're like messing with it, it gets unraveled even more, if you can see. So what the serger does is seal those with thread, so it goes through, you sew it, and it pretty much just keeps your fabric from fraying. If you're working with knit products, you can actually forego serging, because see here, so this is a knit and it doesn't fray. You know, I'm messing with it and it's still there. So you don't need a serger for fabric such as that, but you will need it for like cottons, wool, pretty much everything that frays. Everything but knit frays. So if you're working outside of knit, it probably will fray. So just so you can have good finishes and etc., you honestly don't need it right when you start, because you can just do a French hem, or you can just fold it over. You can also use zigzag scissors. That'll help you. So there are alternatives. I'm Southern, sorry, my words kind of like to play games together. That's a funny way of saying it. Sorry, I laugh at my jokes. So anywho, there are alternatives to a serger. Like I said, you can use a zigzag scissor. I don't really like it, but starting off, I know a lot of people do use it. You can also use, ooh, am I actually, okay, no. You can also use, like I said, you can roll it with certain fabrics. You can even go through and do like a burning technique. There's a lot of different ways you can get around it, to be quite honest. I just like it because it's quicker. It is what it is. If I have some knit, I literally just run that thing through my serger and bada boom bada bang, we good. Like I don't even have to do the extra stuff. So just something to think about. You don't have to, but there are some. I looked at 2 different ones, so I don't have these 2 personally. I have worked with one. The one that I have is the, let's see, no, it's not on my list. So the one I have is the Strong and Tough. Let's see what model that is. It's right over here, so this is why I'm looking at it. It's the ST4031 HD model, and it's by Brother. I bought that on Amazon. I went back and looked for it because I was trying to see if I could probably find the link for you all, but it was no longer, what is it? Was the Amazon 2-day shipping? Jeez Louise. Prime. It was no longer Prime, so I didn't really want to suggest it because, you know, I don't want someone to get their package lost, or it takes like 10 years for you to get your package and you're like, Chauncey suggested it now. Look, I don't want to suggest it, but that is the model that I have. The only thing that really, it's like kind of tinkery, you just have to make sure she's clean and all the dust is gone, but outside of that, I love her. She's nice to me. If y'all have that same model, let me know, and let me know how you guys tamper with her, if y'all have any secrets, because she does, like I said, when she gets dusty, sis be mad. Like, she don't be trying to work with me. So let me know if y'all have secrets. But some good ones that I will suggest are both the heavy duty the heavy duty models of the Singer and the Brother. Okay, so both of them are around the $200 to $300 range. That's pretty much how much you'll find for a for one that holds 4 threads. I'm probably not saying the words right, but it holds 4 of these. So what happens, and I'll even show you guys what they look like. I'll put pictures up there because I'm sorry, I'm being lazy. I'm sitting in a stool and I don't want to like grab my machine and be like, you know, I don't want to do that, sorry. So I'll show you some pictures though, but it'll have like 4 of the threads. If you're looking for something that braids more than just 4, those will probably be higher than 300, probably like in the $500 range. That's usually what I see, 450, 500. So depending on what you want, but just starting, I would even say just starting, you don't need a serger. Like I said, you can do the zigzag, or you can even fold it. Alrighty, so the next 2 are pretty self-explanatory. Is that a word? think that's a word. Self-explanatory. Hey Siri. I don't even know if she's set up on this. Hey Siri. Hey Google. Is self-explanatory a word?
Here's the definition of self-explanatory. Easily understood, not needing explanation.
Thank you. I guess it is a word. Look at me. Okay. But the next two tools are pretty self-explanatory. So you have tape measure. It's a tape measure. Not a measuring tape. Like not the ones that constructors use, but like I'll grab that because that's easy to grab. One of these, a tape measure. So this is, I think it's mandatory, even if you're like working off of patterns or whatever. I always pull out my tape measure, so that you need. And scissors. So let me actually go into detail about scissors. So the first pair of scissors I ever bought for sewing were these. Don't do that. Because you don't, especially if you're not working with a serger, you're going to want some good scissors that cut through your fabric, okay? And these right here, what they'll do is chop at your fabric to the point where when you're cutting it out, it's not straight, so you can't even align your fabric. It just chops it up. It doesn't help out. So it's good to invest on, you don't even have to invest, like there are like $50 scissors. You don't even have to do that. I think I paid like 40 or 30. I think these were $30 if I'm not mistaken, but I'll put them in the description box below. Got these from Wally World in their sewing section, and these are wonderful. I love these. And you can even buy like scissor sharpeners, but I've had these for maybe like 5 years and I haven't needed to sharpen them. Guess what? Guess why? Because I only use these on fabrics. So that's how you keep your scissors nice and sharp. Your fabric scissors are only for fabric. I live with people. When I lived with my parents, well, my parents are seamstress, so they understand the difference between like fabric scissors and regular scissors. But I have a roommate now, and she knows, don't cut with these. You don't cut anything with these. You don't cut hair with these. You don't cut paper with these. These are my fabric scissors. And what now are the paper scissors are these. And then I have some other scissors, and literally all of our scissors are like this. It has paper on it because these are paper scissors. These are the ones you use for anything. And then outside of the paper scissors, you have like, we got meat scissors. We got, look y'all, I'm like, I don't know any seamstress that isn't obsessed with scissors. Let me know if you are a seamstress. Comment down below and let me know, are you obsessed or are you not obsessed? Do you like, am I just being extra or is it a thing? I know it's a thing, but other people might not know. So don't have me out here looking crazy. Comment down below and tell them, look, scissors are a real thing. My mom, she bought I think her scissors are like $100. They were like heavy duty scissors. Will I say they were worth the investment? Yes, Cause them things cut like water, like literally just be like shoo, shoo, shoo. Like, oh, if you anybody who works with fabric knows. They know. And even like it just like shoo, like just runs through the fabric like, oh, it'd be nice. Okay, let me stop. Anywho, get you some good scissors, because it will make your life a lot easier, because cutting and having to like keep going like this, it's not fun. It's not fun at all, especially when you're cutting like large pieces. I'm a tall woman, so I have a 32 inseam, so cutting 32 inches with some bad scissors, it's not fun. Just saying. But that's how I would say the range of what you'll be spending on scissors. Low end on some good scissors, low end $35, high end $100. And the $100 ones, you usually buy those at like fabric stores where you can get them sharpened and etc. But yeah, and that's like $25, and you probably don't have to sharpen them but once a year or once every other year, depending on who you're going to. I think it's worth it. You know, say. But okay, those are my suggestions. Alrighty. So, oh, now Siri want to come up. Girl, you late. I don't need you.
Already in your contacts.
Girl.
Who do you want to message?
Nobody. Bye.
Okay, I won't.
So the next thing that I'll go into like more details with are your needles. So needles are super important. I feel like everything that I'm gonna tell you are everything but a serger is like necessary for real. So you have pin needles that you'll need to just pretty much when you're cutting out your pattern to be able to lay the pattern piece flat and the fabric flat. Now they have these clips. Honestly, first starting, I don't think the clips are good because it moves your fabric around. It doesn't keep it placed securely. So that's on you. I think that needles are best. I am kind of old school. Like I said, if you know what you're doing, yeah, those clips are wonderful. But if you don't know what you're doing, you need to have something that's not going to move your pattern around and you can see what you're doing. You're able to pick it up and it won't move and etc. So I say needles. You can start with there are different types of needles, but like silk needles are pretty good all around because they're meant for delicate fabric. So, but they are smaller. You can do the larger type of needles. Only thing with that is if you're dealing with a fabric that isn't that, if you're dealing with something like silk that's woven very tight, that will mess up your fabric. So that's why I say it's good to start with silk needles. And then your sewing needle. So the sewing machines that I suggested, they come with the needle. That needle is pretty good all around with everything. And I would just suggest those do come with extra needles, but I will suggest you buy extra needles. And on the manual, it'll let you know which needle you have and what type of needle you have and what needle to get. But I would suggest getting newer ones or extra ones because starting off, you will break your needle. It's inevitable. You didn't do anything bad. You're working with your fabric and your tools and you're figuring it out. You will break a needle. Just letting you know. So always have extra sewing needles that go into your machine. Another type of needle is an extra just regular hand sewing needle. You never know, like you might snag something or you might just like miss a little seam and you need to go back in and whip it. especially if you are using one of those lower end machines, because those tend to skip. So if you're seeing like some extra, like a part where it skips, you're gonna need to go in and sew that in. So those are the type of needles that I suggest that you buy. Needles no more than $10. I don't even think you're gonna get up there, to be quite honest. So $5 to $7, but I'll say $10, no more than that. Alrighty.